everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. Today, there's going to be a pair of wide receivers looking to make big plays on the field. It's Green's Bengals going up against Brown's Steelers. For the call, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Here's Randy Bullock now to put toe to leather. And with towels waving, we're underway from Heinz Field. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. Now a play fake here on first down. And that's complete to Jesse James. A gain of 6 there on first.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. Tight end, they can do their damage a different way, break a few tackles, and really scatter some people down there.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And connection number 1 there on the game, Roethlisberger to Boney Tony. Antonio Brown, that's what his high school teammates used to call him.
I wonder what they would call him now.
More muscular, more successful Boney Tony Brown, right?
I'd say you're probably right. It may be all of that. They'll still call him Boney Tony, but Ben Roethlisberger calls him my number 1 target.
Again, it's Bell. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo.
Holding, offense.
So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
His throw incomplete. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on third. Roethlisberger will throw. And it's complete to Ladarius Green. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Again, it's Roethlisberger. And his throw here's incomplete. Sammy Coates, the intended target there. And it's third down.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
And with a 3rd and 14, we have 6 defensive backs out there now defensively. Over the middle here to Brown. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And it appears they'll go for it here on 4th down. A big call on the game's opening drive. He finds Coates complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receiver's eyes when he's throwing the ball. That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
That was a tremendous play by the defensive line. We always talk about leverage versus any play. How about versus the draw? Underneath, they get into the backfield and make a big-time play.
Now Ben hit, and he lost the football. It's loose, and the Bengals grab it. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. A bad 3rd down mistake there.
Points were already on the board in their mind. And that's the worst part about it, right? Because it's just like in golf. Never count it in the cup until it rolls in there. Otherwise, you can really get messed up with your scores. In this case, you know they thought, hey, at least 3, maybe even a chance to get 6. It's a little bit demoralizing going off the field now that you've turned it over and you come up empty.
Yeah, if he holds on to that, at least the field goal on 4th down, now they lose it. And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. A play fake to Hill. Dalton. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Fresh set of downs here. And Dalton hands to Hill. And he will possibly get back to the line alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with the football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. Again, it's Hill. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And Pittsburgh with 6 defensive backs in the game here on 3rd down. 3rd down from the gun. Dalton toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a 1st down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. They run it again with Hill. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
Now Dalton. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a 1st down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Going for it all. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
Passing again. Dalton on 2nd and 10. A dump off now to Hill. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Fakes the give to Bernard. Dalton can't find anyone open. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
And Bullock will put this one through, and the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. And, Charles, they get the field goal. Took them a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
This Bengal defense now making their way back out onto the field. They recovered a fumble on their side of the field last time. Led to a field goal. We'll see if they can force another turnover now.
You got to love the way that they're playing. You go back to that last series, it's almost like baseball when a guy is hitting really well.
There goes Green. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Ladarius Green, 73 yards. And the Steelers have taken the lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And with a new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Larry Ridley will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Dalton, complete to the right side. It's Eifert. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
The Steelers insert their nickel defense on third down.
Yeah, they add a DB. They look to throw on third with Dalton. And able to find Green. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. And they're going to speed things up here. Dalton, 1st and 10. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down. Well, you know, Charles, understandably, all the talk right now about the Super Bowl. Don't forget this week the Pro Bowl as well, down in Orlando, new location, back to the old format, AFC versus NFC.
And I like that. Now you don't have teammates having to play against teammates. I think it's more recognizable for the fans watching the game, so that should be fun. But also, how great is it that for our friends here at Madden, the game is right here in Orlando, so we can just pop over, check out practices, check out all the events leading up to the game. That should be a whole lot of fun, and it stands for Orlando as a big league city.
Brandon LaFell, his intended target, and it's 2nd down. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Second and 10. Dalton once more. To the left side here for Eifert. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Despite only needing one, Dalton to throw. Underneath here to Hill. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
Passing again. Dalton on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
And that's complete to LaFell. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Here's Dalton. Voids the target, and he has it over the middle. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. This will be Dalton again. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in-route accompaniment.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Dalton, 1st and 10. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
3rd down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
And Bullock will put this one through, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So a field goal here. They're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole 2nd half to get back to where they want to be, and that's in the lead.
So we're at halftime, and apparently that's all, Larry. So much for the halftime report. We'll see you in the postgame. We're ready to get to the 3rd quarter. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2. Now,
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
380.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. James Harrison, the veteran, in on the stop.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
He's got time. On the right side, caught by Green. Now a loose football. The ball comes out.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
And Eifert has it. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it. Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
A first down throw coming for Dalton. And a right side completion here by LaFell. They'll get 16 yards there. And the Bengals are going to have a first down. Simple slant route, and part of a really nice hard throw by the quarterback.
Nice timing between the quarterback and the receiver. They were perfectly in sync, and he put it right on him on the inside route.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. 2nd down following the run. It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. That is caught. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Bengals are going to jump back in front.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield across the 45. To give him a gain of 38. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
15 yards through the air and a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain. On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. They'll come out in the pistol. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football, because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering.
Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. On 3rd and goal, Roethlisberger. Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Antonio Brown, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do, because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
And the lead is now 2. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
He got 29 yards that time. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. Hill, the lone setback. The play fake to Hill. Dalton. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off, William Gay. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I don't think we'll have to look very hard to find our play of the game. That was an absolutely monstrous big play right there. Backs to the wall. The offense has it in the red zone, driving for the winning score, and he says, not on my watch. And that is one happy bunch on the sidelines.
He was trying to find Ladarius Green there as tight end, and that'll bring up 2nd down. So they just got the football on an interception. They almost gave it right back the same way.
And, you know, when you look over to the bench after that type of a play, number one is pure relief. Didn't give it up. But it's not the coach you're worried about yelling at you. It's those guys on defense who just intercepted the pass and want to break over there. Hey, take care of the football, man. Everything about that play was beautiful. A great corner route where the receiver worked the defensive back inside and then broke back to the outside to the corner. But how about the throw by the quarterback? Anticipation on the break from inside to outside. He threw the football. As the receiver turned around, the ball greeted him. Good, solid, strong run that not only gets him a nice chunk of yardage, but takes the clock under 4 minutes. And now they're going to play situational football. How many timeouts does the opposition have left? How many runs do they need to call to make sure they bleed out those timeouts? But even more importantly, mentally right now, they hold the advantage. They probably have them at the verge of breaking. And what they want to do is finish them off.
And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Well, they brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
He gets it to Brown. Complete. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Coates. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. They come out here in the I. Roethlisberger going to throw it, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And this seemingly endless drive continues. So here's 3rd and 20, and with a long yardage, defense going with a nickel look. Here's Roethlisberger. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. He'll look to throw. To the left side here for Eifert. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. He's back to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Back to throw. To the left side here for Eifert. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And the offense moving quickly to the line. And now the spike with 36 seconds left to go. This is Hill. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. And quickly they get to the line. They'll look to throw. He's got his man, Boyd. And he's going to go out of bounds. He takes this one down shy of the 20. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
And Bullock will put this one through. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. So it's not quite over yet, but you have to figure they pretty well got this one on ice now.
And, Brandon, I can't help but marvel at how calm these field goal kickers seem to be in situations like this. You know I'm shaking up here like a leaf, and I don't have to kick it.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Brown, the lone receiver, left. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. That's caught inside the 20. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
I think it'd be real easy here to focus on maybe a defensive breakdown with that type of a play in this situation. But let's give a little bit of credit here. That type of play is clutch.
Boy, it was clutch, but to turn it back to the defense, how crushing is that? You think you've got this thing won, and in the last moments, almost literally, you lose it.
Snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.